So my experience of becoming aware that I was aware of entities was not a pleasant one, I will admit. I grew up in California to a very alternative family. When I was 4, my mom met Gary Douglas, who's the founder and creator of Access, and my parents were always doing like weird things, like going to channels and like having psychics over for dinner. Gary, my stepdad, was an antique dealer. He would bring home this furniture that would really freak me out. It was not until I became an adult that I realized that what was freaking me out was perceiving the entities that was attached to a lot of this stuff. And then as a teen, I didn't cognitively make the choice, like, I'm not gonna be aware of ghosts. I somehow, in my universe, shut the door on that. I started duplicating the world of the people around me, and the world of the people around me wasn't really spirit friendly. But the dangerous thing about blocking awareness of entities is that it doesn't actually go away, you just go unconscious to it, and oftentimes your awareness can slip through the cracks that show up as depression, anger, being suicidal. So as a teen, I was in really bad shape. By the time I got to my late teens, I was really quite suicidal. And that was when I had a massive breakthrough, which was really choosing to use more of the tools of Access. It was like a change or die moment. And I was really lucky to have Gary and Access in my life, and I chose it. It was in that very beginning of starting to facilitate bars classes, my awareness massively exploded. It was then that the entities came back into my life. It was so extreme that one day I was in my tiny apartment in Southern California, and I literally couldn't see the other side of the living room because the living room was so full of entities, and I freaked out. I called my dad, dad to the rescue. I was like, my house is so full of entities, it's really freaking me out. And he's like, that's great, hun. He's always been very supportive and very positive of awareness. I was like, this isn't great, this is horrible. And I did my best to shut the awareness down and push all the entities out. Over the next 3 months, my life just got so hard. I was out at my parents' house months later complaining to my dad about my life. And he's like, well, what did you refuse to do? And I realized in that moment that I had refused to talk to the entities. That night in my parents' kitchen, I made this commitment to whatever this is, whatever talking to the entities is, whatever this awareness wants to be. And it was from that moment that Talk to the Entities began to form into what it is today. If we'll be aware, there's so many beings in the universe, in the world, that will play and contribute to our lives. And I would love to see a world where we didn't judge ourselves for being a weirdo that talked to entities and energies. A world full of magic. The magic that only children are allowed to believe in, but that's actually part of all of our daily lives. And so many of us think that we're crazy when we see sparkles in the trees or hear the joy of a flower. When we sense the warm, gentle embrace of a being, whether it's a relative that's passed or another kind of being that embraces us and cares for us. What would a world be like where we allowed all beings, however their bodies showed up, to exist with us and live in harmony?